Well, hello there. So I just got back from another EMDR basic training in Tampa last night, and I was thinking about how the training went, and it went well. But I would say that at the start, maybe about a third of the class felt openly skeptical, not really cynical, just unsure, like unsure that EMDR could really be as effective as people say, or unsure how the AIP model translates for real change. I can understand the hesitation. It's almost like it's too good to be true. But EMDR is evidence based. There's a lot of research behind it. But sometimes it seems like almost evidence based still feels far away. But once you experience it, like you get to see what happens when the protocol is applied, and how you see what happens with someone's actual material, like their actual life story or those life events. And so, we begin the training. I was just thinking, like, we begin the training with the history, with the research, with the AIP model, with the 3 hypotheses for like how EMDR may work and how we think the AIP model works, and all of that matters. But then the experiential part happens. Then you go into the practicum part of the training, and that's the moment when I most see people shift, because it's one thing. Well, once EMDR therapists go through EMDR themselves, and instead of just talking about it, it starts being, like, I think it just stops being a theory and starts being something that you can observe happening within you, within your own body, within your own emotions, with the way your brain thinks through some way, or just links things up differently than expected. And then you can also see that happening in your group members as well, because we usually do groups of 3. There are triads, so everybody gets an opportunity to be the therapist, the client, and an observer. And all of that repetition helps with learning, with the training. But then I think it also helps you to really solidify your own personal experience as the client, and then seeing an experience through your client once you're the therapist, and then being able to witness an EMDR session as a third party when you're the observer. And so I know it can be really vulnerable to work on real stuff in a professional training setting, but I also think that's what makes EMDR training different. The learning isn't just intellectual, it's lived. And so by the end of this training, people who were unsure at the beginning were then all in, like, oh yes, I get it. I'm in it. I'm doing this. I'm already thinking of a bunch of clients that I can do this with. And it's not necessarily because the training or anyone really convinced them. That certainly had to be a part of it, but I think it's also because their own experiences helped convince them. And that's why I keep talking about EMDR, right? Not to oversell it, but it's just because I don't want skepticism or just not knowing what EMDR is to be the reason someone stays away from a therapy that helps. I keep talking about EMDR therapy so people have access to healing, and that healing feels possible. And that way fewer people miss out on something that could really help move them forward in their life. Because that's how the AIP model works, right? You have this experience, and it has an adaptive resolution, and that changes the way someone lives their life. So that's why I keep talking about EMDR. So I hope you enjoyed my little ramble today.